of a life overseas. A fresh start. Perhaps in a booming technological hub, it's a thought that resonates with so many. But that promised future of yours won't sit and wait for you to suddenly find it in a hide-and-seek game. It has to be earned. The where and when aren't the right questions for that. So in reaching heights, leaving the country isn't an answer. What about the other side? What about people who found it just next door, right here? So, for that, let's discover what is today's guest take on this. Should we go abroad or should we stay here in Algeria to reach full potential?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of the NanoPod, podcast of the National Higher School of Nanosciences and Nanotechnologies, where our team carefully analyzes your interest to bring on both expert and storytellers for inspiring you. We welcome Mr. Abdellatif Bouziani, CEO of mobile company in Africa. Welcome, Professor Abdellatif.
Thanks, Iman. Thanks for having me. And I'm the one inspired by being with you guys today. I saw a lot of good things here, and I'm very, very enthusiastic. And I think it did not be the first visit.
Inshallah. I also want to thank for you coming all the way here in this weather today. Also, what's your impression? I want to know what's your impression of the school so far, since you already gave a lecture and met some of our students.
To be frank with you, I was amazingly impressed by what I saw here. The organization, the setup of the school, even the position where is the school is amazing. So, and I managed to see from the conference I did at the auditorium before, I saw a lot of bright minds and people which are interested, they're eager to learn, and they're willing to learn more things and to listen to people. And also they have that curiosity, being able to listen and to ask questions and try to understand what's going on. That's the key for success for me. Yeah. And I saw all this here, and I think you are in the middle of a bunch of bright minds, which I am sure will make the changes in the near future in the country.
Inshallah, hopefully. As a starting point, I want to hear your story, your inspiring story, and your academic and professional journey, and what path led you to becoming the CEO of a mobile company in Africa.
It's a pretty much similar and standard story. So, I started my studies in Algeria. I did all my studies up to the university level in Algeria. And then I got the chance to go outside in Europe, where I studied a little bit. To be frank with you, I didn't study much in Europe. It's like a stamp which I put on my existing diploma to have an international diploma. But most of what I know, I learned it here. The basics, the mathematics, the physics, the language. Believe me, when I went, for example, in France, I was better than them in many things. Because our scholar system in the country is one of the best in the world for the people who want to learn. Of course, if the knowledge is available, it's cheap, it's free. So people who want to learn, I did. It happened that I was in an environment where learning was the motto for everybody. So I'm not the only one. I'm not the best one. I'm one among those who succeeded because we benefited from the system in the country. And that the basic and the base and the foundation which we got here helped us to succeed outside.
Despite the fact that there was no good circumstances back then.
We are in an ecosystem which is protected, in microcosm which is protected. We have the parents and the community pushing you. So if you don't go to school, people will know that you didn't go to school. And then when you have the parents behind and make sure they push you, and they sometimes even oblige you to learn, to succeed, to have the best marks, to understand, and that helped us. And I think we have nothing to say about our educational system for people who want to learn. I did not find any difficulties studying abroad or learning any new technology because of the foundation I got here. So we have to make sure to value this.
Sure.
We should not let other people say, you know what, our educational system is not good. For example, I give you an example. All my kids studies abroad from the foundation, kindergarten to university. I don't see any difference between them. And sometimes, you know what? At the level where they are, it depends on the primary school, middle school, or secondary school. Sometimes I find the level I was in when I was in their age better than the level where they are.
Mm-hmm.
And all those schools are paid, and you need to pay a lot of money to follow your studies from kindergarten all the way up to university.
Yes.
So I can tell you, yes, we have a very good foundation in terms of studies, basic studies in country.
We've seen huge interest in investment from the government in the educational field, such as building higher schools and incubators. Despite the fact of all the things that the government is doing, people are still believing that studying in Algeria is a waste of time.
You know what? I think I'm in a better position to talk about this because I was lucky to work in many different countries, Africa, Asia, and Europe. And my kids studied in those places as well. And I saw this myself, not people told me. When you're in a country coming out of 132 years of occupation, where the colonizer made sure to destroy 5 generations among the population, to keep them in the dark, no access to schools, no access to high studies. And you're coming out of that. And the independence, we used to have one university in Algiers and doing literature. No technical, no engineers, nothing. Then we have to go fast. We have to educate people. We have to have enough people fast to run the economy, to teach, to keep the society running. So from that time to the mid of the 90s, we had to do the quantity. So the quality was there. I'm not saying the quality was not there, but the focus was not on the quality. So we had to train as many people as we can. Even baccalaureate at that time, we used to give to even people who did not deserve it at that time. So the idea is to have the quantity, and then we will get time to select the best people later. Now, with these new schools like the nano science school, like the AI school, so now we're having schools which will train and get us a new generation of students which are working, which we call the elites. These are the guys which will be driving the economy. These are the people which will be driving the research in the country. These are the people which will drive the others to enhance and to drag the quality above.
Yes.
And now we can measure ourselves to those guys. In the past years, quantity, few people are able to make it up. The others, and this is life. Not everybody is equal. Now we have to.
Some of them are eliminated.
Exactly. The natural selection. Now people who are willing to go further in their studies and to go for research, to go for business, to go for any other difficult sciences, they will have the possibility to have it. And having such a university in country where they regroup these brilliant minds all together, it's amazing. The result will be even brilliant, more brilliant than what we have today.
Brain investment.
Exactly. Exactly. So there's nobody, in fact, a classroom in this school, for example, in this university, when you have all people with a higher level, you cannot go down. You can only go up. That's the most important one. And the guy who goes up, drag the others with him as well. So the sky is the limit.
That is true. And back to your story. And basically, there must be some failures and obstacles that face any person before his success. So I want to know some of the most challenging obstacles and failures, problems you faced during your career as a foreign student with zero income. and how did you overcome them?
In fact, we were spoiled. I know if you say the word spoiled. We were spoiled being in Algeria, where you don't need to care about anything. You have your university; it's free. You don't pay studies. You get money every month as la bourse. So when I find myself outside, where I have to find shelter, where to live, how to eat, where to pay school, how to move around, pay the transportation and all this, and you have to do all this by yourself, it's difficult.
And
When you have never done it before. We were here in a microcosm, protected by family, by government, by everything. So it was easy for us here. When you go out, it's a shock. Then now all these things, you'll find out somebody else was thinking about these things on your behalf. So somebody was making sure you have your study, you have your university, you have your money, pocket money every day, and you are studying and you don't need to bother about all these things. And then when you find yourself outside and you have to think about all these things yourself, now I realize how lucky I was when I was at home.
This is actually happening here because most of the students are from different cities, not from here. So they find difficulties adapting the system of studying away from home and everything. And they cannot go out of their comfort zone.
Exactly. And it's like everywhere in each business or any type of life in the part in the life. If you don't get out of your comfort zone, you don't make it up.
Limited choices.
Exactly. So if you want to have more choices, you want to succeed, to go higher, further, together, you have to get out of your comfort zone. You have to give up some privilege or some facilities you have. And you have to take some risks. As soon as you get out of your comfort zone, your brain starts functioning differently. You'll be on a mode where I have to succeed. If I'm doing all this sacrifice, it should not go like this. Multiply by 0. If I'm going all this far and if I'm having all these struggles, the result has to be amazing. Then, when you have the good result at the end, that's the gift, that the reward which you will get, and you will forget about all the struggles you got.
And even independence life teaches the person a lot of things. Unlike sitting around your family and your friends, it teaches you a lot of things to be doing things your own and everything.
Exactly. And you know what we say in English? Easy come, easy go.
That is true.
Exactly. So with things which you work hard to get them, you will value them and you keep them. And you try to build on them and make them higher and better and further.
Concerning nanotechnology and telecommunication, do you see nanotechnology have an opportunity to enable faster, smaller, and more energy-efficient network devices?
For sure. In my field, the first mobile used to be like this chair size. And people used to carry it like a suitcase to take it with them everywhere. And this is not very far. This is 20 years ago. Now the phone is in the watch and it goes even smaller. So the nanotechnology for me, it's the future. It makes life easier. And because of this big expansion of the population, of the buildings, of all the equipment we're doing, we need more space and more space. Like what we were talking before about the data science. We used to have a big building like this to store 1 terabyte. Now 1 terabyte is on a stick like this. So I got the chance to work with big equipment. Now those big equipments are done with small chip. And there is no limit for that. So we can go even smaller and smaller. When we reduce the size of the thing, we can make more of that. For example, one of the studies, you see the antennas we see on the roof for the TV. One student got the idea to make micro antenna and put them all together in a big panel, like a solar panel, and make an antenna 100 times stronger than the antenna we have on the roof.
That is great.
Sky is the limit. So this is what we call in French miniaturisation. And it's the future. And this technology will help us succeed on many domains. And it works on all the domains for me.
Yes. And do you see companies that you worked? Do you see that companies that you worked with can open opportunities for nano engineering startups?
For sure. I think that culture is coming into the country now. I see a lot of business leaders, a lot of national companies, a lot of private sectors are looking now to research and development.
Mm-hmm.
And from my talk with Dr. Hassan, there's a big partnership between university and the private sector and businesses, and they're developing together R&D centers to help students who want to do research, and the company will be there for the financing and finding solutions of our problems. Because up till today, most of the things we are consuming technologies made by others. Now it's time with you guys in a school like this one, you will be able to find solutions which we have for Algeria, because not all solutions will work for everybody. Even maybe tomorrow, somebody from this university will find a car which is suited for Algerian market. Maybe somebody will find a phone which is good for our market. So these are the products which need to be localized. Not all technologies are good for all places at all times. And this is why we need bright minds which can find solutions for us in our own cultures and even the way we live and the way we behave all the day.
Actually, our school emphasizes learning and developing soft skills. But a lot of people see this as a waste of time and not as important as we see it. What do you have to say about that based on your experience?
If the decision is mine, I will put the highest mark and the highest coefficient on the soft skills. If you don't have soft skill, I will not give you the diploma at the end of the studies, because it's very important for me. It's critical. You don't need only to be a very good engineer or very good expert in your domain. You need to be able to talk about it. You need to be able to convince me and him and her about what you are doing. You are the only one who understands how to make this mic. And you make very good mic. It works very well. The functionality is very good. But the mic will not talk about itself. You made this mic and you should be able to talk about this mic brilliantly and to push me to put the price for it. If you're not able to talk about what you invent, what you create, what you do in terms of product, in terms of services, and you cannot sell it, it stays in your lap. So you spend money, time, endless nights making that product, and you are not able to talk about it. You're not able to market it, to sell it. It's important. Even, I'm not talking about only products. I mean, even yourself as a product, as a product, you're working in the university day and night, endless nights, we're making a lot of efforts to make about yourself a very good engineer or very good expert in your domain. And then they call you for an interview, you don't know what to say. But you're good. I'm sure you are good. I saw many leaders in my career, brilliant leaders. But when he takes the mic and start talking, you think he never been to school.
Only physics and analysis in his brain.
Exactly. And people will not see what you have in your brain. You know, that's a lie. We didn't invent camera, we see what you have in the brain. People hear what you say. People see what you do. How do you behave? You should have the right gesture, the right body language, and the right words to make people listen to you and to take you seriously. If you don't have the right words, the right behavior, the right gesture, people will not take you serious.
And based on your experience, what is the main and the most important skill that young professionals should develop to role leadership?
Communication, sociability, being able to talk to anybody. If you are a brilliant mind and you know You know it all in your field, whether mathematics, artificial intelligence, electronics, mechanical, whatever. You can be the best professional in that field. If you are not able to communicate about it, and if you are not able to transmit your passion to people, you won't succeed. So communication and sociability, open to others. There's some people who will tell you, I'm an expert. I'm not talking to anybody. If you don't understand me, it's your problem. No. I used to have a friend when he doesn't understand, when I was in school like you, a friend who used to tell us, explain to me like you're explaining to your mother. You have to use the right words, the right tone to explain to people. That's language. It doesn't come like this. You have to learn it. You have to study it. And you have to be a good communicator, and you understand your field. You are the specialist. Nobody understands it better than you. But if you're not able to explain it to others,
that's a waste.
That's a waste. And you cannot market yourself. You have to be able to sell yourself first. The first marketing manager for you is yourself. Yes. So you have to market yourself. Like this, you can find good opportunities, good jobs. You'll take two good engineers with the same level. They have done the same studies. But the one which will get the job is the one who communicates well. It happened to me once in Afghanistan when we start hiring engineers. And it's a poor country. Well, I was receiving CVs. I found out 5 CVs were the same. Same CV. And they just removed the name and changed the name, but the CV is 5 times
everything
the same.
The same.
So one of these guys is the guy who wrote the first CV, who gave it to the others. I have to find him among the 5.
Because he has a skill.
Yes. But I could not find him. I took 5 of them.
That was a waste. If you ever had the chance to go back on time, what one advice you would give to your younger self?
Good question. I think if I come back with this knowledge which I have today, when I went outside, I didn't get much from things which I never knew, or from things which were difficult to understand. We had a good base here. So I think if I had done the same effort and the same insistence which I have done outside, the same effort and the same time spent to learn things, I think I could have succeeded here. I'm not saying you should not go and see what's happening outside. It's good to know what other cultures, what other people are doing. But I think if we work hard, we learn hard, and we listen from everybody what we can get, other technology, other cultures, we can make it happen here. And these are the people which I admire the most. I have some friends who never left the country, and they are much, much better than me. And those are the guys which inspire me.
Inspiring people, yeah.
The solution is not only to leave; it's also to make it happen where you are. Who's going to make this country great?
If you all leave the country and go
exactly.
Sure.
And this country used to be great in the past, and it's our role as Algerian to make it great again.
And I think with that we reached the end of the episode. Thank you for coming again.
Thanks to you.
It was a pleasure talking with you.
Thanks for having me.
And see you guys in another episode.